Have you ever felt like you're in a constant tug of war with yourself? One day you're on fire, a whirlwind of drive, knocking everything off your to-do list. The next, you're overcome by a softer, dreamier energy full of creative whispers, a deep yearning to connect, or a quiet need to just be still and watch the world go by. And then crash. You feel totally burnt out, disconnected, maybe even a little bit lost, wondering where all that incredible energy went. The feeling of being pulled in two different directions. This cycle of burnout and fleeting creative sparks is a powerful sign that your inner energies are out of sync. This is especially true for empaths. If you haven't met yet, my name is Rosberries. I'm an artist, healer, and spiritual teacher. And in this guide, we are going to explore a beautiful framework for balancing your inner masculine and feminine sides. When these two polarities are in balance, it leads to a life with so much more flow and fulfillment. But first, let's get crystal clear on something. When we talk about masculine and feminine, we are not talking about gender at all. These are universal energies, archetypal qualities that exist within every single one of us, regardless of how we self-identify. Think of them like yin and yang in Taoism, or Shakti and Shiva in Hinduism, complementary forces that, when in harmony, create a life of wholeness and deep well-being. We even see this principle in electricity, where connectors are referred to as male and female, parts that fit together and allow power to flow. If you're ready to finally stop that internal tug-of-war and start living in your natural flow, then you're exactly in the right place. So what's really driving this inner conflict? Coming up, we're going to expose the hidden reasons your masculine and feminine energies are at war and how you can finally help them to declare peace. So what does this internal clash actually feel like in your day-to-day life? When these energies are out of balance, it can show up in some very real, very stressful ways. Let's see if any of these sound familiar. When your masculine energy is in constant overdrive, life can feel like an endless uphill battle. This is the energy of hustle culture in a nutshell. You might find yourself working relentlessly, totally unable to switch off and tying your entire self-worth into your productivity. You might become rigid in your thinking, emotionally closed off, or even controlling in your relationships because logic and getting things done seem to be the only thing that matter at the time. No judgment. This road always leads to a deep feeling of being unappreciated, overworked, and eventually total burnout, where your body and spirit have nothing left to give. And on the other hand, there's too much feminine energy. Without a container, you can start to feel really drifty. You might feel passive, indecisive, filled with these incredible ideas and dreams without the focus or the structure to bring them to life. This can lead to a lack of boundaries, where you give so much of yourself to everyone else that you end up drained and unsupported. This can lead to a lack of boundaries, where you give so much of yourself to everyone else that you end up drained and unsupported. You might feel overwhelmed by your emotions and scattered, unable to get any traction in your goals. Life can feel chaotic, and you find yourself craving stability and clarity. Think about it like this. A car that is all engine, the masculine, will roar and burn through fuel at incredible speed, but without a steering wheel, feminine, it's just going to crash. And a car that's all steering wheel but has no engine can turn in any direction it wants, but it's not actually going anywhere. The ancestors say, talk about going nowhere fast. You need both working together to move forward with purpose and grace. The goal isn't to get rid of one energy, but to strengthen its counterpart so they can work together in a beautiful, harmonious dance. To find that balance, we first have to really get to know these energies. Let's start with the divine masculine. The masculine energy is a force of action, direction, and purpose within you. It shows up as logic, reason, stability, and strength. It's the part of you that sets goals, solves problems, and builds structure within your life. It's the energy of decisiveness, discipline, and unwavering focus. The divine masculine offers protection, accountability, and the integrity to stand by your word. A beautiful way to think of it is to picture the masculine energy as the sturdy banks of a river. The banks provide the container, the structure, and the direction for the flow of water. But without the banks, that water would just be a shapeless, stagnant puddle. It's the masculine that gives the feminine its power to move forward and create real change. When this energy is healthy and balanced inside of you, it feels like being grounded, confident, and clear. It's that feeling of knowing where you're going and having the determination to actually get there. It gives you a stable foundation to build on, and it creates a safe place for others to thrive around you. I learned this lesson the hard way when persistent joint pain and injuries became a constant companion in my life. It was my divine masculine energy that finally pushed me to seek out physiotherapy. Working with my coach, we meticulously mapped out some achievable goals for my exercises. It wasn't about forcing myself, but creating a gentle, consistent structure. Slowly but surely, I built up doing my exercises almost daily, transforming vague hopes and intentions into concrete actions. That commitment to show up day after day and following a clear plan, that's the divine masculine working its magic. Now that we see the masculine as the riverbank, the container, let's talk about the divine feminine, the beautiful flowing water inside of it. Feminine energy is the wellspring of your intuition, creativity, and connection. It's characterized by qualities like nurturing, empathy, and emotional intelligence. This is the part of you that feels, that dreams, that connects deeply with others, with your own inner wisdom. It's the energy of being receptive, of allowing things to unfold naturally, of flowing with the cycles of life instead of trying to force your way through them. If the masculine is the riverbank, the feminine is the water itself. It's wild, creative, intuitive, and always changing. This energy is the wellspring of new ideas, the holy grail. It allows for deep healing to happen and forges heartfelt connections. When your feminine energy is healthy and flowing, it feels like being in a state of grace. You feel open, radiant, and in tune with the world around you. It's the strength you find in vulnerability, the wisdom that comes from truly listening, and the courage to really trust your gut. It's what helps you adapt to change, collaborate with others, and find deep meaning in the journey of life, just not the destination. In my previous life, I was a graphic designer. I once hit a massive creative block with a project I was managing. I was trying to force a design solution, trying to make my client happy, and I was getting frustrated because it all looked like shit to me. Finally, my brain went on strike. I surrendered. I stepped away from my desk, put on some music, plopped myself down on the patio, and had a very serious meeting with a cloud. I'm not saying how I got so interested in cloud gazing, but let's just say my thoughts got a little herbal. Anyways, the point is I wasn't trying to force a solution. I was just letting my brain marinate. And then bam, out of the unstructured, slightly hazy flow, the perfect idea just arrived. And the design started to flow effortlessly together. That was my feminine energy hijacking the controls for a minute. And by the way, if you're looking for more advice on how to navigate your masculine or feminine energy, drop me a comment and let me know if you'd like to see a video that expands upon these two polarities. The real magic, the true fulfillment we're all looking for, isn't about choosing one energy over the other. It comes from their sacred union, just allowing them to dance together in harmony. Balance isn't some static place you finally arrive at. It's dynamic, moment-to-moment practice of listening to what you truly need. So how do we actually do this? Here are some simple and practical ways to consciously call in the energy you need more of. Masculine, if you're feeling burnt out, rigid, or disconnected and need more feminine energy, try these. Embrace unstructured being time. Block out time in your calendar with no goal. Seriously, no to-do list. Just give yourself permission to exist. This could be 20 minutes of sitting in a park, listening to an album all the way through, or just daydreaming. The point is to shift from doing to simply being. Create for the fun of it. Do something creative with zero pressure for it to look good or be productive. Throw some paint around, dance badly, sing off key, cook something brand new, or get your hands in some dirt. The goal is to connect with the joyful process, not the final product. Practice receiving. The feminine is receptive. For one whole day, make a conscious effort to truly receive. When someone gives you a compliment, maybe instead of brushing it off humbly, you breathe it in and say, "Thank you." This can feel surprisingly vulnerable, but it's so refreshing because, bitch, you've earned it. Connect with nature and your body. Spend time outside, which is the ultimate expression of feminine energy. Feel the sun on your skin. Listen to the wind. Also, get into your body. Try some gentle yoga, stretching, or simply moving around. Anything that helps you shift out of your head and into your physical sensations. Feminine, if you're feeling scattered, directionless, or stuck and really need to channel your masculine energy, try these. Create gentle structure. The masculine thrives on structure. If your days feel chaotic, make a simple routine. Maybe it's just waking up at the same time each day or blocking out 1 hour for your most important task. This creates a container for your energy to flow into. Take one decisive action, choosing one thing you have been putting off. A phone call, an email, returning a package, any kind of little decision. Just choose it and do it. Don't overthink it. Taking one small decisive action builds momentum and strengthens your ability to move forward with purpose. Practice setting one clear, kind boundary this week. This could be saying no to a request that you know will drain you, or telling someone what you need in a direct and respectful way. Hold yourself accountable. Take loving ownership of one area of your life that you've been avoiding. It isn't about blame, it's about empowerment. Acknowledge your part and decide one small step you can take to move in a better direction. This builds incredible inner strength and integrity. If you're ready to commit to a more thoughtful approach to owning your masculine and your feminine energies, I've created a comprehensive library of Reiki healing meditations specifically designed to help you achieve inner unity. These can complement a daily meditative practice to help you shift your mindset into balance. Join my Patreon community for free for 7 days to access these meditations and support in the creation of future healing content for empaths just like you. You'll find the link in the description below. The journey of balancing your inner, masculine, and feminine isn't about changing who you are. It's becoming more of who you already are. It's about embracing all the powerful, beautiful parts of yourself. The part that dreams and the part that builds, the part that feels and the part that thinks. You have the ability to be both the anchor and the river, the architect and the dreamer. The key really is to listen. When you feel that familiar pull of burnout, see it as a loving sign from your soul to soften, to receive, and to nurture your feminine side. And when you feel lost or stagnant, hear it as a call to engage your masculine, to create structure and take purposeful action. This dance is the secret to a life full of deep fulfillment, resilience, true power, and authenticity. Before you go, I'd love to hear from you. Which energy do you feel is more dominant in your life right now, and how does that show up for you? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's start a real conversation about how we all can find a little bit more balance. Thank you so much for sharing this space with me today, and until I see you at the next one, I'm wishing you peace, love, and all the berries.